Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Rebecca. I'm a realtor based here in southeastern Idaho, and I make videos every single week talking about pretty much just all things life in Idaho, tips for buying or selling here, and pretty much just life in general as a wife and a mom and a realtor and a business owner for other things, because it gets a little bit crazy around here sometimes, and I just like bringing you guys in on it. So in today's video, I thought I would make a video just kind of chatting with you guys about what's going on right now. This is super relevant for the time of year that we're in right now because it is beginning of March and we are kind of at the tail end of winter. And I know I have a few people that are looking at moving here and they've been wondering, how bad is winter here really? Or what is winter like? And what is it like living through the winter here in southeastern Idaho? So I thought it might just be a good video to hopefully give you some more information and some insight on what winter is really like here. So let's jump on in. Okay, so I feel like there's good and bad. Let me just start off with that. And I will say that personally, I really like winter. I am a winter kind of person. So honestly, for me, it's not that bad. There are pros and cons to both. Obviously, depending on how much you like winter, you're probably gonna lean one way more than the other, but I'm just gonna put out kind of some of the facts and some of my experiences, and you can decide if that's a good or a bad thing. But here's some more information on what it's really like in the winter here. And keep in mind, I also live right outside of Idaho Falls, so this is more specific to the Idaho Falls area. Obviously, if you're south in like the Pocatello area, it's gonna be a little bit different, or if you're north, I would say anywhere north of Rexburg, it's gonna be different up there. So just keep that in mind. This is more based on the Idaho Falls area itself. Okay, so first thing, it gets cold. Obviously, it gets cold. We're in Idaho. We definitely have a winter here. And I will say we've had some days lately where it's been with the wind chill like 14, 15 below. Those are the days that are obviously super cold. You don't really go outside. And those are just the ones where it's like, it's really cold here. But honestly, we really don't have too many of those days. I'd say in general this winter, most days have been the coldest, like in the teens. Lately, most days have been like 20s and 30s. So I guess it just varies like everywhere, but keep in mind that if you're going to move to Idaho, we definitely have a winter and it gets cold here. So if you're expecting more of a mild winter in like the 40s and 50s, that's really not going to happen here, at least not in this part of the state. So you might want to give that some thought. The other thing though, at least for me personally, I feel like even on days when it's like 20s, 30 degrees out, usually the sun is out quite a bit here in the winter, and it's really not that bad to be outside when the sun is out and it's shining on you. I still take my son for walks almost every day. We just bundle up, and honestly in the sun, it's not that bad. So yeah, just something to consider. So speaking of that, that's kind of one thing about winter here in Idaho, I feel like, is that the weather can be super confusing, especially this time of year when we're kind of at the end of winter and it's like starting to tip into spring, but it's not quite spring. Last week, which was late February, beginning of March, the weather was like in the 40s, almost 50, and it was so nice outside and everyone was super excited and like ready for spring to get here. And then this week it's back into the 20s. I think the highs this week are like maybe low 30s. So just the weather is super sporadic this time of year. It's really hard to predict. One day it'll be super nice and sunny, and then the next day you'll have a snow warning. So it's just kind of unpredictable. But most of the winter is not really like that. It's just because, like I said, we're at the tail end of it and we're getting into spring. But yeah, a little confusing. Okay, this is one that I would definitely say you need to be aware of, especially if you're moving here from somewhere that doesn't have as much of a winter as we have here. And it's that a lot of the roads around Idaho Falls, especially in the smaller towns surrounding it, aren't really plowed consistently. So if you don't have a great snow cart, that's definitely something that you're gonna have to keep in mind. And also if you have to get up early to go to work, especially on those days where it snows, make time to go out and shovel your driveway, your sidewalk, whatever you have to do to get out, because you will definitely get stuck a time or two before you get used to it. A lot of cities, I know most of them won't come out and plow the roads unless they get a certain amount of snow. Here in Idaho Falls itself, and I think Ammon, it's like 2 or 3 inches is when the snow plows start coming out. But again, if you're in a smaller town, some of them don't come out until it's a lot more than that. And some towns, if you're in more of a residential area, they don't come out and plow at all. So it's kind of more on the people in that neighborhood to handle the roads. And usually if you're in a place like that, people will definitely be out plowing just on their 4-wheelers or even with their own trucks or snow blowers or whatever it is. But again, just something to keep in mind, because I feel like if you're moving from somewhere that doesn't get a lot of snow or that has way more mild winters, that might not be something that you're expecting. So just so you know. And kind of going off of that, when we do get a lot of snow, especially in a short period of time, some of the roads and the passes around here can be shut down. I think it was back in January, we got a pretty bad snowstorm, and the road going north from here up into Montana was shut down north of Ashton, which is a small town north of Rexburg. And it was shut down for, I think, a few days. So that kind of thing can impact a lot of travel plans, or just things like trucks, driving supplies to different towns and things like that. And also just if you're traveling to other places like Jackson Hole or anywhere like that, some of those mountain passes can be shut down when the weather's bad. So if you're planning something like that and it's been snowing, or that we have a snowstorm coming in, that's definitely something to check out before you travel, because those kinds of things can really put a damper on your plans. All right, and last thing, I wanted to end on a positive, because again, I really do love the winter here. I just think that there's definitely things that you need to be aware of, especially if you're moving here from somewhere where you're not as familiar with it. But one of the best things about winter here is that there's so many things to do this time of year. We have tons of ski resorts around here, anywhere from ski resorts just in the area. We have a small one right outside of Idaho Falls called Kelly Canyon. We have one down in Pocatello area, Pebble Creek. We have Sun Valley, which is a world famous ski area. Obviously, there's amazing skiing around Jackson Hole and Montana, all of those kinds of places. So if you're into skiing or snowboarding or things like that, there's so many great places to do that here. Even just things like going sledding with your kids, or going snowshoeing or cross-country skiing, or just going out and snowmobiling for a day. Things like that are so fun, and it's just a great way to kind of take advantage of winter here, because we do have, the opportunity to do that, which a lot of places don't. I also feel like if you're getting tired of winter, that's a great thing to do, just to kind of get back into it and enjoy it before spring hits. So again, that's definitely a positive of winter in Idaho Falls. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Obviously, we are starting to get into spring, so I just thought this might be a good video to kind of help you if you're thinking about moving here. Maybe you haven't been here in the winter, so hopefully that kind of gave you some insight into what it's really like living here in Idaho Falls in the winter. If you have any questions on any of this, or life here in general, or real estate in general, feel free to drop them below. Send me an email or connect with me on social media, and I will leave all that information in the description box below. But until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.